Welcome back to another episode of the Life of the Young Funeral Professionals men's edition closeout of our June session, where we are celebrating another trailblazer and we're shining a light on his story to build a brighter future. On today, we also want to give honor to God, who's the head of our lives and head of our platform. And we're so grateful for every opportunity that we have to connect with you all. Also to our founder and visionary, Raheem Watson, who is burning the midnight oil in the funeral home. We definitely thank you and appreciate you, sir, for your dedication to the industry and the example that you're setting. And as well as to our media guru, Tiffany, who is behind the scenes and does an amazing job helping us to run our platform. We are very grateful to our entire team. And then, of course, myself, Courtney Hemphill, as I serve as you all's creative director for the platform. And it's an honor to be with you all. Really quickly, I just want to make sure that everybody is connecting with us. Keep up to date with everything that's going on with the platform. You'll see the methods in which you can contact us via Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. And that will be the best way to kind of get in contact with us as far as everything is concerned and keep up to date with all things the Life of the Young Funeral Professionals. Now, today we are celebrating another trailblazer. And though he may be fairly new to the business, he's not fairly new, his funeral home is fairly new to the industry. Trailblazer by definition is a pioneer or an innovator, somebody that is doing something to innovate their particular area of focus. And so today we celebrate Mr. Jeremy Taylor, who will be joining us today as one of our Life of Funeral Professionals trailblazers to close out our Men's Month. So we're going to actually bring him on now. Hello. How are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime, man. Anytime.
So how's the weather down there in Rockledge? Did I say it right?
It's hot per usual, man. It averages about 90 to 100 degrees.
Gotcha.
On a day-to-day basis.
Y'all about neck and neck with us out here in Vegas. It was about 93 today.
Yeah, man. It's only one group of weather out here, and that's hot.
Good to know out of a Florida coastal city. Well, we certainly thank you for joining us today. Just to kind of dive into today's session, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and kind of how you got started, any bits of education pieces that you want to drop in there too. Just kind of tell us about who you are.
Well, my name is Jeremy Taylor. I'm a licensed funeral director and embalmer here in the state of Florida, funeral home owner here in the city of Rockledge. My journey started off at Warner University. It's not funeral related, but I was at Warner University doing my undergrad. I went there for 4 years, got all my prereqs done. Then I went over to St. Petersburg College to do my funeral career. And I didn't finish there. I didn't like that it was taking forever to get done. There, I was going class by class and each semester, trying to kind of get in where I fit in type of situation. Then I transferred to Gupton Jones online program where they accepted all of my prereqs from my previous school. And I finished there in about a year or so, about a year and a half. And then I moved to Jacksonville, did my internship there where I was afforded the opportunity to work for about 6 or 7 funeral homes. So, it was a really, really good experience. And then I did my internship. Then I'm back here in the state of Florida and running a funeral home, man. It's been a great journey so far, man. Very busy, very tedious, but I believe I'm built for this job.
For sure. And most of us, if you all have been following the Taylor Funeral Home and Cremation Incorporated, they have had an amazing journey. They're very blessed to have been in a position where they were able to build from the ground up. And it's something that you don't really see a lot of times in this industry. So kind of walk us through that journey. How did it feel as you progressed through each stage of like building what to what it is now?
Yeah, man, building, it's a blessing because you can get everything exactly how you want it. You know what I mean? Get every room how you want it, any dimension, the ceiling height, everything you can do custom. But the building process was really good for us. It gave us an opportunity, get our, ducks in a row as far as permits with the state, different things that we should have been compliant with. But it was a good experience, as far as being blessed with, being able to be the first Black funeral home in our city of Rockledge. It's been awesome, man. And we've been very grateful to serve close to 200 families now.
Yes, indeed.
And we've been open for about 9 months now. So last week was marked 9 months, and we're just extremely grateful how the community has received us and how different people and families have received us in this county. But as far as the building project, I would say that it was a blessing because I've always wanted to own a funeral home. It's been something I've been interested in since the age of 6 years old, and I was afforded the opportunity to do so. So I just wanted to bring the best funeral home to the county, to receive the best service. That's how it was.
Yes, indeed. Best funeral home to the county to receive the best service.
Yes.
I'll stick a pin in that. We coming back to it. So kind of let me know, what was the turning point where you kind of decided that, yeah, I want to work in funeral service? I know you just mentioned since 6 years old, but kind of what was that turning point where you realized, hey, this might be more than just a play date type thing?
I think it was when I was 13 years old and I performed, I assisted in my first embalming. I took a liking into it, man. I have not turned back since. Some people think that, when they introduce you to a case or a body, they'll be able to tell whether you are really meant for this business or not. When I was 13, man, I was already intrigued with the business. But when I actually touched my first body, I was infatuated with this industry, man. It's insane.
Gotcha. And you're an embalmer and funeral director now, correct?
Yes. Licensed funeral director in the state of Florida.
Gotcha. So he does it all, y'all. He does it.
I try to, rather.
So how do you find balance between funeral director and having to be the embalmer also?
Well, the balance mainly comes with my timing during the day. I start my day usually around like 6 a.m. on most days. I try to come in and get my files and everything together in the a.m. for all my meetings. And then in the p.m., I do all my embalming and such. So it makes it easy, for me in that regard, knowing that I have certain things to do in different time slots of the day. But I like to keep my appointments in the a.m. unless a family, has work or something like that. And I like to do all my embalming at night. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find that balance right now. But, for the most part, I have a pretty good system down as far as when I'm meeting with families and embalming my cases.
Gotcha. I'm writing it down. Meetings in the AM.
Yeah.
Embalming in the PM.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. How about that? We'll keep that up here when I'm licensed. So people often think that they know everything about what we do because they see the pictures on social media. They see the website, they see how things are going, but they never really see the sacrifice that goes into being a part of this industry. So what are some important things that people should keep in mind before they decide to take part in the funeral industry full-fledged?
That's great you said that, man. I would definitely say something to consider and to take into account is that you're at the family's disposal. You're at their disposal 100% of the time. For as far as me and I'm concerned, I'm on call 24/7, 7 days a week to families. Sometimes you have those families who call you at 10 o'clock at night for a simple question. You just have to find that balance to where when to answer questions and when not to answer questions or whatever. I like to refer back to business hours, but sometimes we're very hands-on at our funeral home. So I have families calling all times of night, man. It's kind of crazy sometimes. But as far as balance, you have to, for instance, you have to rest. You have to take care of yourself because you just do not know when you're going to have a crazy week, or you don't know when, you're going to have a bunch of calls come in. You don't know when, services might go over on their time, so you just have to prioritize yourself more than anything because you're I'm sorry to say it, but you're most important in that given time. You can't service families and you're broken down. That's how I like to put it.
For sure. And so much to that respect, services are over. Everybody's been embalmed. Right. It's time for quiet time. What does the wind down look like for Jeremy J. Taylor?
Oh man, somebody just asked me. Somebody just asked me this the other day. So wind down for me, I would say is to. Oh man! First of all, I gotta go. I gotta get fresh. I gotta go get me a shower. I gotta get the day off of me.
For certain.
Put on something nice. Average weekend, man. I would say I would go to like I don't know if anybody knows about this restaurant. It's called Eddie V's in Orlando. It's about 45 minutes from us. I go there, man. I have me a glass of wine, and I'll sit there and listen to the live band and get me something good to eat, and that's enough for me, man. I do things like that. I'm very, very simple. I don't really watch TV much. I read sometimes as well. But as far as wind down, man, a good meal and some rest, man. That's it.
Good meal and some rest. Gotcha. Yeah. Now, I know that you had mentioned you would work for about 6 or 7 funeral homes as you were matriculating through your journey, correct? But on the topic of mentorship, kind of who is someone that you kind of look up to in funeral service, or if it's not just one person, that's fine. Who do you kind of like try to model yourself after?
Oh man. Okay. So that's a really good question. I have some mentors in the business that are very important on my journey and everything, such as like people like Tyrone Speaks, Charmin McMillan, Dylan Williams, Brian Myers, people like that who are very thorough at what they do and are very good at what they do. Mm-hmm. And I have on a first call basis. Hey, buddy, hey, if I need a question, I have a question. I just pick up the phone and call them. A lot of them have helped me out in a few of my cases that I had here at my funeral home, and they're very good. As far as who I would like to be like, I would say I have my own style of funeral directing. I have my own style of embalming. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mainly just try to be myself and stay in my own lane, because it seemed to work for me. But as far as like funeral homes or funeral directors who I admire to be like, I like Willie Watkins. He's very good. I was able to spend a weekend with him for another colleague's funeral that we went to together. I like Gregory Levitt. That's a bunch of owners. It's owners here that I like things that they do. You know what I mean? Because you can always pull different things from different funeral directors. You know what I mean? Things that you like, things that you dislike, and everything. And I was afforded the opportunity to work at about 18 funeral homes through my journey here to owning my own. And I'm telling you, I've learned so much good, and believe it or not, a lot of bad, man, from a lot of these funeral homes that call themselves operating.
I understand loud and clear.
Yeah.
Now, is back of house something that you prefer more than like front of house operations in terms of embalming versus actually doing arrangements, actually being on services? Which kind of where can we find you more within?
Oh, you always find me in the back hiding.
Gotcha.
Yes,
gotcha.
I'd rather be doing fluid inventory than counting money.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's just the type of guy that I am. I don't want any credit. I don't want any, any praise for what I do. I just love what I do so much. It's like every time I touch a body, it's like I do it for the first time every time. I try to put my all into every case that I do. You know what I mean? Because we only have one chance to get it right. We'll have one chance to please the family. You know what I mean? We try our hardest to make it to where families do not complain. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For the most part, we've done an awesome job of that.
Can you say that part? And we only have
one chance. You only have one chance to do it right.
One chance to do it right.
Yep, only one chance to do it right. So do it to your best ability and do it with the mind of God. That's how I like to think of it.
Yes, indeed. Now, in our industry, a lot of times we find that a lot of the funeral homes that do exist are family owned and family operated. Kind of tell us about the Taylor family and how you all come together to collaboratively push the vision of the funeral home.
Wow. Good question. So I am a first generation funeral director and embalmer and owner. Well, it was about when me and my brother were about maybe we're 2 years apart, so about maybe 11 and 13 years old. We were together one day. I think it was over dinner, and my brother, he had aspirations to be in the NFL, and I had aspirations to be a funeral director. So I said, "Hey, man, why don't you go to the NFL and get the money together?" And then build a funeral home. You know what I mean? Basically, we live happily ever after. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And would you believe 10 to 12 years later, that dream came into fruition, man. We've never, deviated from that path, and it's always worked for us. You know what I mean? Staying in your lane. People don't understand. Staying in your lane is the most important part of anything. You can't be like anybody else. It's meant for you to run your own race rather than someone else's. That's how I feel.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And now your mom is also a part of the operation, correct?
Yeah, mom. People get mom kind of confused in a way. Mom is retired, man, but yeah, mom. She's 51 years old. She retired, man. But she comes and helps at the funeral home. So now she's taking it under her reins. Now she's basically running it, man. I don't get sometimes to work till noon sometimes because she got the front end, pretty much down. She's doing an awesome job, man. But she tried to keep a hold of me and everything and such, so I don't have to do everything. She helps out. We also have an admin there on a day-to-day basis, and they do an awesome job, man. Majority of the time, I just come in and ball my cases, do my removals, and leave.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you all handle your own removals then also?
We try to for the most part. If I'm out of town, going to one of my brother's games or going somewhere for church or something like that, I'll have a removal service. But I like to do it myself. It gives people that personal touch, to see the owner, on the death call. It's awesome.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, side note, mama, if you watching, Miss Wendy can do it.
Yeah, she can do it. I tried to send her to the hospital yesterday to go get a case, do something easy. No, you got it.
It was easy. You got it.
Yeah, it was easy, man. Look, easy call.
Gotcha. Now, let me ask you a question. I've been kind of following you guys in your journey since the groundbreaking ceremony to what Taylor Funeral Home has become now to the community. Right. Do the letters MVE mean anything to you?
Again, man, but you're trying to be a little different. You know what I mean? Out of the ordinary. Your day to day. So our MVE, for anybody who don't really know about that, it is our most valuable employee. We give it to every employee. Well, we give it to our employees after a hard day of work. After every Saturday. We're extremely blessed to, since we've been open, to never have an empty Saturday. We've had funerals every Saturday all the way up to now, all the way up to this point for, basically say for nine months straight. And we give our MBE, which is our most valuable employee, to the employee who we felt has made the difference for that day. You know what I mean? Our aim is to make the difference in our community and serve families with excellence. And we feel that whoever served that family the most excellent that week, whoever made the difference the most, they get a stipend to their check. And we, they basically try to. It's pretty penny for to add to their check. And they are extremely eager to serve. And I have an amazing staff. They're awesome. They they don't murmur, they don't complain. They come in, they want to serve. They have the mind of service, and that's the only thing that really matters when serving these families.
That's beautiful, and you can tell too.
Yes.
The dynamic that you all have together as a work family, but most importantly, as a funeral home is at the forefront of their community. It's a very beautiful thing to watch how you guys have grown and how you guys are kind of cultivating that culture within yourselves.
Yes.
Where do you kind of see the direction of the funeral industry going in the near future?
Oh, wow. Great question. You got some questions. Real good questions, man. Of course, you always have your traditional funeral service, which is basically your burials and your, everything and such, your embalming your cases. But, funeral service, of course, is going into more in the line of cremation. It's nothing wrong with cremation. I think we do about 70%, 70 to 30 burial. We do more burials than cremations, but I see cremation creeping up on an all-time high, man. Every other call we get is cremation. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I see that making a change in the industry. And another thing I see in the making a change in the industry is, like the showmanship of different funeral homes, the different things they're doing on funerals now. They're making it more of a show. I'm not against that. We don't do all that, but we try to stay, a little more, a little more dignified in a way. Just to keep things simple, staying in our lane. But I see a lot more showmanship at funerals now, and I see a lot more promotion of business. I see a lot of people taking advantage of social media because it's not always a bad thing to, promote your business through social media. And I like it. But yeah, that's just the changes that I see in the industry now. You know what I mean? People are starting to take heed to knowing that they could be on social media to promote something like a funeral home, because, you know, a lot of people think that funeral home, you can't really promote yourself and everything, but you can promote your business and the services that you offer, you know what I mean, in a dignified manner. I believe that wholeheartedly. That's why we do what we do sometimes. We know we might not show a deceased or anything like that, but we will show, you know, different services that we offer at that given time, you know.
And for sure. And whoever your photographer is, chef's kiss.
Yeah,
Amazing.
man. We got a guy, Our Story Imagery. We have a few different photographers and graphic designers. I'm not gonna get my graphic designers' names out, but yeah, they do an awesome job.
That's for the Taylor family only.
Yeah. We have a good guy. He's really good. His name is Kenneth Hart. He's really good for us as well. As far as my other graphic designer, they're local, so I don't want to really.
Got you. Now, as somebody who is considered, well, we consider you a trailblazer on our platform, regardless of what anybody else may say, because you're somebody that is charting your own path in your area, and you're doing more to innovate what funeral service looks like for the Black community in your area. And with you all being the first Black-owned funeral home in the county where you all are, where do you kind of see yourself in the future of this industry? Like, do you see yourself going to education, more into law? What's next for the, let's say, like the next 10 years or so? Because you guys are still off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, man. The goal in the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years is to build relationships, you know, with these families, to build a good rapport with the community, and just being there for them, being a shoulder to lean on, you know what I mean, being that rock of the community, knowing that you're sustainable and you're a business that can offer something that other businesses cannot offer. That's our main goal, is to be different in our own way without stepping, without stepping on other people's toes, just being ourselves, walking our own lane, walking our own calling. And it's been working for us. As far as what we're going to do in the near future, I really feel that, you know, as far as the industry is concerned, that we need to reach, everybody needs to learn how to reach every race in the industry, and not just pinpoint themselves as an African American or a white funeral home, or, you know, in that such. I feel that we should offer our services to everyone, you know. And it's really helped us tremendously, knowing that, you know what I mean, the community that we serve, everybody embraced us. You know what I mean? We don't just serve whites. We just don't serve Blacks. We serve everybody. And it's been a, you know, a blessing, you know what I mean? Not being looked at as a Black funeral home predominantly, you know what I mean? Everybody comes in, everybody, you know what I mean, accepted us, you know. So that was a good part about it.
So in that case, then, would you say at first, was it kind of challenging to build those relationships with the community? And kind of what are some of the ways that you guys kind of innovate to try to foster that?
Well, that's another good question, man. What I would say is we went to I still do go to a lot of community events. I go to a lot of church services, man. I remember maybe when we first opened up, I went to probably 5 church services on one Sunday before, man. I got in a suit. Yeah, man. I was passing out business cards. I was, you know, going to different facilities, going to the police offices with donuts, going to different facilities, passing out cards, letting them know, hey, we're getting ready to open, or, you know, we're already open, and just getting to the community. We're part of a business group called Viera Voice, where we interact with about 100 other businesses in the county every second Thursday of the month. And it's been nothing short of a blessing, man. Networking is the best thing you can do. Getting around well-to-do people who can support your vision, you know what I mean, and tell the masses. That has worked for us tremendously. And getting into churches has helped us a lot as well.
Yeah, I definitely understand. We do something called the Stop the Violence March out here. We're actually going into our 5th year later on this year. I think we're doing it in October this year.
Nice.
I've hit 5 churches on the Sunday too, so I know that's man, oh man. Can you do us a favor for me, please, and just kind of take a moment to share some encouragement for our younger generation, because they see everything how it looks with the finished product, right? But it can be easy to get lost in the journey and in the passion of having the passion for funeral service and not necessarily thinking that we have to put in the work to get there. So if you don't mind just kind of dropping a few little gems for me, just for our younger generation that's coming up, so that way they can kind of not only just stay motivated, but stay focused too.
Yeah. I would definitely say prayer life is very, very important. I would say pray every day. Pray, keep God first. Don't ever worry about what no one else has to say. I know your vision, it's your vision, but don't ever worry about what somebody tells you that you cannot do. You can do anything you put your mind to. As far as knowing who you are, know who you are and know what you're good at. You know what I mean? And capitalize on that. If you know you're a good embalmer, hey, go buy the best fluid. If you know you're a good funeral director, go, direct those funerals to the best of your ability. But I would say just know who you are, walk in your calling, and everything else work itself out. Keep God first. Keep your education first. Don't deviate from your path, and just know that you can do it, because if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Gotcha. We definitely appreciate you, sir, for your time today. I know
Yes,
this went by a little quick, but yeah, we definitely appreciate you for everything that you are, everything that you all have become, and the example and the standard that you all are continuing to set in your area. We just want to say thank you on behalf of my entire team, on behalf of this entire platform and the funeral industry as a whole. We are so grateful to the Taylor family for showing us what it looks like to be a God-fearing, dignified, and integral owned business.
Yes, we appreciate you as well, man. And I appreciate you for allowing me to be on your platform. It's very, very professional. Y'all have it together, man.
Most definitely. We tried. Yes. By the grace of God, we're doing quite well. And as much to the success and the thanks of you all and the journeys that we can try to aspire to be like. But we definitely thank you for sharing some time with us out of your very busy schedule. And hopefully one of these days we'll get down to Rockledge so we can get down to visit in person.
Come on, man. We're waiting on you.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
All right. So to everyone that is watching, we are searching for our next guest. So if you have a rising young undertaker that should be featured in a future episode, do me a favor and please DM us or email us and let us know who they are, along with the best way to contact them. I'm going to say that again, along with the best way to contact them. And then submit that through either one of the 3 platforms that you see below. So that way we can go ahead and try to get people scheduled into our next lineups. And then that's about it. We appreciate you all. We love you all for supporting us. And thank you so much for joining us as we close out our men's edition of the Life of the Young Funeral Professionals with our trailblazer, Mr. Jeremy Taylor. Thank you all so much, and we will see you all next week.